Now I had shot a few racks before this, just kind of as a warm-up, and with the positioning of the balls that Bang Time was using in the last virtual tournament, the last virtual match, that 6 ball in the lower right tends to, at least for me, float over and cover up the 9 quite often. So I had to adjust my normal rack procedure just a little bit in order to kind of accommodate for that. On this first rack here, you'll notice that I did manage to pocket a ball, but I was unable to satisfy the 3-point rule. So we're going to take another crack at it. And as you know, Bang Time rules, hey, your second time it's a 0, so there's probably going to be just a little extra heat on this second one. If I can ever figure out how to get the balls in the right position. So now here we go, second break, first rack. Coming from the second diamond there. And as you can see, we had a very nice success on that rack. The only issue I really had was the fact that actually didn't have a very good angle on the 2 to get over for the 4 ball. And as you can see there, I decided to set up for the 2 initially in the other side, but you just have a little better cue ball control following that out for the position if you're not using a rail. You'll notice there's a lot of overdraw that's about to go on here in this rack. Set up nice for the 5. Should just be a little stun out for the 6. Nothing exciting. But as you can see, just a little too much heat, a little too much low right. Kind of got me on the inside now of the 6. Originally I wanted to stop in the middle of the table, stun back out for the 8. But this is no problem here. This is just a little stun to the center of the table. And there it is. I overcooked it again. Here I was actually trying to get below the side pocket. It's a little risky, but the outcome's going to pay off if you feel comfortable putting that much right hand spin on a ball in order to drag down the table like that. And it leaves me with a nice 9 ball to finish out the rack. For a total score of 9 in the first rack, as I did take ball in hand. Alright, here we go. This is my second opportunity to try out the slightly adjusted break. And as you see, it will yield pretty solid results. Nice long follow through. Get the balls down. Nice shot on the 1. And this here, I've got a nice just kind of a stun angle, maybe a little bit outside English to come down and play for the 3 ball. Looks like the 2 ball and the 7 ball went down. So here the 3 ball plays rather well to the 4 ball, but that 1 rail angle is going to come right behind that 8, so there will be just a little bit of left hand spin on this, just to kind of give it a little extra angle coming down table. And as you can see, I did end up nudging the 8 ball, but it was a friendly nudge, so we'll take it. Here again, I've got enough angle that I can just stun off the rail and get back up table for that 5, but the easier play happened to be drawing back to the rail. Well, unfortunately, again, I'm overdrawing everything, so I'm left with a awful tight angle on this 5. But as you're about to see, nice little stun down the table, one rail, just barely kisses that 8 ball and comes up for perfect position on the 6. Same shot here, just follow the 6 just a little bit, one rail, back up table, leave yourself a good clean position on the 8 in the corner, and that should lead to a nice shot on the 9. Nothing real special there, just a stop shot. Take what the table gives you and pocket the 9. So that would be an 11, as I did not take ball in hand in that rack for a total score of 20. A little cold down in the basement. You gotta love that Carhartt beanie. Actually get some flack for it at work. It's got speakers sewn into the ear pockets. That way I can hide my headphones while I'm working away on the floor. Oh, by the way, if anyone from work is watching this, disregard that last statement. Again, the break yields a pretty nice clean table here. We have a minor issue. And it's essentially traveling from the 1 to the 2, from one end of the table to the other. I decide to take one rail around the back side of the 9. Then I kind of change my mind at the last moment and come across the face of it. That leaves me with a nice clean shot into the side pocket. That level of draw was unwarranted. All I really need to do was just back the ball up a shade. And here we are, just a touch corner hooked by that 9. As you can see, the table was pretty well solved at that point in time. I just needed to put a little more care into that shot. You know, maybe the shot would have been to actually come off that one rail. I did have a little bit of angle. I could have hit below the pocket, just let it drift off the table one rail over for the 5. And I could have been just about anywhere and got position for that 6. So here we end up going and fishing out a jump cue, because we're gonna try to miss the corner of the 9. See if we can pot that 5 ball. Don't practice my jumps a whole lot, you know. They only come up, you know, maybe once every 9 sets or so. So just trying to execute. as you see there, so close. Would have ended up with a pretty decent shot on the 6th there, but alas, it was not to be. I left 4 balls on the table for a score of 5. And that would give me a total of 25 at this point in time. All right. One more time. We've had pretty good success with the break in this set, so we'll see what this one yields. As you can see, it's a pretty solid break. I've got good position on most of the balls. Little touchy there, you know, trying to get from the 1 to the 2. Just because you want to maintain kind of a straight angle so that you've got something to come back on that 3 ball with. Drifts out a little bit, and that should be good. You know, a little low English, and just go ahead and pot this ball. Cue ball will drift over for the 3 ball pretty nice. Three ball coming around. I wanted to get below this 4, just because it kind of, that 8 ball kind of has the pocket basically trapped up. With the 4 ball sitting on the rail like that, strange things can happen when you throw an English on the ball. So here I'm actually putting a little inside spin on it, and as you can see, I got a little over boisterous, and ended up juicing that ball clear down on the wrong side of the table. I was thinking that was going to take 1 rail and the inside was just going to kind of check spin, but it kind of took off on me, and we're left with this, which here we're just trying to pot the ball. And as you can see, it comes off the rail, and that 8 ball helps me out just a little bit. Leaves me a tight cut on that 5 ball, but at least it's a shot. Looking at the angle, I think I had enough room to get in around the 8 ball to come back for the 6. So I'm trying not to touch the 8 ball here. Just go ahead and take that tight cut and come 2 rails back down table, and for the 6 ball. Little firm. Ended up colliding with the 6 ball, but you know, no harm, no foul. I left myself a position to where I can just put a little low right spin on the 6 ball and maybe bump the rail, maybe not, just kind of slide up the table for the 8 ball. I want to get high enough up the table that I can actually use 1 rail position and come back to the bottom side of that 9. Almost not enough angle. It got a little straight on me. I'd like to have just rolled another inch toward the top of the table. So here I'm just going to take a straight draw. A little inside English to kind of straighten out the line, and draw it back to the table underneath the 9, and take what I'm given at that point in time. So our previous score was a 25. We managed to get a 9 in this rack. That puts us at 34. And as you see, I'm going to get this one set up. The break is not going to be the issue, but taking the time to put your due diligence into a shot is important. And as you'll see here in just a minute, I failed to give a shot the credit it deserves as far as pocketing the ball. All I really want to do here is just come back down the table on the opposite side for that 2-ball. So just basically want to come one rail around the top side of the 2-ball and end up landing right around the side pocket. That way I can just drift up the table for the 3. As you can see, I kind of shorted this just a little, left my angle a little long, which could have a little bit to do with it sliding off the balls colliding that close together. I didn't quite give that enough credit. And then this 2-ball is not a hard cut, but I'm looking at how to get back for that 3. With the speed that I'm going to have to put on this to get to the pocket, I didn't want to pace into the backside of the 3, so I'm trying to throw a little high left and just basically come around the 3-ball for a shot. But unfortunately, that is where my game comes to an end. I left 4, 5, 6, 7 on the table, which gives me a score of 3 to add to my 34. And that gives us a 37 through 5 racks. Not a bad performance. Definitely some room for improvement there. And I love doing these videos where I can look back and just kind of think about what I was trying to do. When you're looking at the table from an overhead view, it's nice to revisit your thought process and, think about the way that you can move the cue ball around the table and the other options you have. A good friend of mine once said, there's more than one way to skin a cat. And that's what I'm trying to learn, one day at a time. So for now, that's all, and thank you for watching. This is Tango Bravo Zulu, over and out.